Okay. So, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Millionaire Mentors. And I am so excited to be able to introduce you to a good friend and a very, very vibrant leader in the new skin business, Paty Acosta. Paty's joining us from Florida at the moment, and wow, she is so full of energy and done such amazing things around the world with her business. And maybe she can tell us a little bit about herself. Paty, hi, how are you?
Good. I'm so excited to share my story with you too. I'm so happy what's going on around the world with Nu Skin. So here I am. My name is Paty Acosta. I'm from Colombia, but like Graham said, right now we are in our apartment in Miami.
Wow. Thank you so much for taking time out of your holiday to be with us. Really appreciate that. Paty, maybe you could just tell us a little bit about, about how you got started, your background and how you came across Nu Skin.
Sure. Well, I'm the seven of seven kids of a big family in Colombia. My family is like a typical family in Latin America. My father used to be an employee and he worked really hard. And my mom was like doing magic with his salary because he used to make just like $500 a month, something like that. So, but he decided to send all of us to the university. And I decided to study business administration because I wanted to be an entrepreneur, because I wanted to be, to have my own company. So I was born in a small city called Pasto in the south of Colombia, next to Ecuador. And I decided to go to the capital in Bogota, which is Bogota. And since that moment, I learned about, like, I call the process of deciding. I decided to study in the best university of Colombia, even though I didn't have money. It was not possible to study there, but because of my decision, I studied in the best university of Colombia. When I graduated from there, I had my degree, and also I had a huge debt with the government. So when I started doing my interviews, my first language is Spanish, so they start asking me if I speak English. I didn't know any word of English. So that was my first challenge. So that day I decided that I will go to other country to study English, but I didn't have the visa, I didn't have money, I had a debt, I didn't know anybody overseas. So I had everything against me, but even though that, I decided that I will go to United States. And as I say, when you decide, magic happens, And somebody helped me to come to the United States. I didn't have the money, but I got a job in the morning, another one in the afternoon, and at night I start studying. So one of the other things is, when you decide, you need to know that you have to work through your goal. You need to take action, otherwise nothing happened. And then when I went to the United States, I went to Los Angeles first. I was an employee for 6 years. So I worked during the day, and at night I studied. And I study marketing too. I love business. So after that, I decided to open my own business in real estate. And I was really successful in real estate because I was during the big momentum of real estate in the United States. And I started making a lot of money in real estate. But I was not happy, even though I made good money, because, we used to make like $25,000 if we sell a house. I was not happy, and I was not happy because I was missing my family. So in 2008, I started praying for an opportunity that allows me to be in the United States and travel often to Colombia. And then is when somebody that didn't know me and a cold contact introduced me to this business.
Wow. So obviously a cold contact introduced you to this, and this has obviously completely changed your life. Wow. Did you go to a meeting? How did you get to hear about it?
I know, it was incredible. I was in my real estate business, and I decided to put I was doing interviews to people to work with me in the real estate business, and I was interviewing them by the phone. And this person told me if by any chance I knew about a machine that will smooth the wrinkles on my face in 10 minutes. It was at that moment. So I laughed because I say, we are talking about houses, and then we are talking about real estate, and then you start talking about machines. So I laughed. And he said, no, he told me that it was, that I should go and see a demo. And I said, okay, send me information, because I didn't know him. So he started sending me information, and I will delete it because I was so busy. So at that moment, we used to use a lot of the email in 2009. And in the morning, because I was so busy, I was delete all the information that I think it was little trash. So he will send me the information, and he will send me the information. So one day I say, I feel bad. He called me again, he did a really good follow on me. And he asked me if I read the information, and I say, I'm so sorry, I'm really busy, So honestly, I haven't read that information. And he say, I should go to a meeting to see a demo. And he called me like for 2 months, that honestly, I just went because I feel bad. I say, oh my God, this poor guy has been calling me, so many times. And I feel bad. And I went to a demonstration. And when I saw the demonstration, I loved the demonstration. But I thought they just want me to buy the product, because they didn't explain me the business. And that's one of the things that is really important. You need to know, who's your prospect to present the business, because if he will know that I was in business, he shouldn't present me the business, but he was trying to sell me the product. So I say, okay, I will buy the product. It's no problem, because I thought he was really persistent. Thanks to God, he said, oh, the code is free. So he did a code for me, and he continued to send me information. So, and then I went to another opportunity meeting. And in that meeting, it was a Lee presenting, so I understood a little bit more the business. However, I continued to have a lot of questions. So one of the things that I tell my team is like, hey, some people doesn't decide the first time, so you need to follow up, and you need to put the people to many exposures, to different meetings. Because I went to that second meeting, and even though it was a Lee, I continued to have like, oh, I don't know, this is network marketing, I don't know how it works, I don't think that those average money that people make through, even though they were in the New York, market, like, but so somebody told me, Paty, if you don't go to the company, if I don't go to the company, I don't think that they think I will see the vision. So I say, well, and what I need to go to the company? So some people told me, oh, you need to know the scientific stuff. And I was like, I don't need to know the scientific stuff, because remember, my background was more business. So after they said, you know what, I think the company is going to open Latin America. And I think that was the magic word. So sometimes the reason that you need to put the prospect to different exposures is because they will know that perfect words or something that will open their mind. And that was the words that opened my mind when they say that they will open Latin America. And I went to the company. And when I went to the company, I saw the big vision. I studied before I went there. I realized that this was a huge company, a huge opportunity. And when I went there and I listened to the stories of the Lees, like what Jeff is doing right now, that like all these millionaire stories, I was like, wow, I fell in love with the lifestyle of the Lees. And lifestyle is not just about money. What I love, it was that they have time to enjoy that money, that they were doing what they like to do, and I enjoy. And that time when I went to the company is when I decided to start the business. However, I was with my little, like the question that I have, and that's why it's so important to answer the question that your prospects had. It was that I don't know, it was the correct decision to leave my business of real estate, because I was really successful, to start something that I didn't know. I never worked with beauty. I never worked with network marketing companies. I didn't have experience in this kind of business. So I asked one of the team leads there, it was Alan Nagao, and I asked him what I should do this business, because I'm really successful right now. And he said, Paty, if you continue to do real estate, every month you will start from zero. Every month you will start from zero. If you work with us, you're going to create a distributor, network of distributors that in some point you don't have to work every day. And I was like, okay, that's true. You know, I will start from zero every time in the real estate. If I don't sell a house, I don't make money. And I say, okay, I will continue with my real estate business in the morning until 3 p.m. and I will work in Nuskin from this time to this time. So the other important part is when you talk with your prospect, they decide to do the business, ask them for the time that they are going to dedicate to Nuskin. Like if there is 2 hours, 4 hours, how many hours they are going to dedicate to that. And I dedicate like 4 hours at the beginning to Nuskin. And after 4 months, I was making more money than my real estate business. And then I started doing real estate Nuskin full time.
Wow. So you, okay, so you were working for part-time in the beginning and you still had your other, your original business. And were you focusing on selling products or were you building, talking to people about the business? Which approach did you take when you started?
I was more focused on selling the business because remember at that point, I was already a successful business person. So honestly, and honestly, I was, and they told me something really important when I started the business. Paty, what are the best 5 contacts that you know? What are the people, the most successful that you know, the most entrepreneur people? And I was like, okay, this is the people. I start thinking like from myself about, I start thinking of the person that told me about real estate business, the brokers, all these people. And I talked to them about a big business. I told them, hey, we are going to open Latin America. You can talk to them about the business because of course these people wanted to know the big thing. If I told them about little business, they will not put attention to me. So that's the way that I became brand representative in 3 days, because I understood that concept. Because sometimes they say your contacts and then you start thinking, you know. So I decided to go to listen to the person that was trying to tell me how to do the business, because honestly my upline was new. My upline, I don't think that even though he was a brand representative, and like 5 levels above, all of them, they were brand representatives. So that's the other thing is important. You know, it's important to know who are your uplines and see, you know, who can learn from your uplines. So I really brought my best 5 contacts from the beginning, and actually not 5. I think I brought more because I called many contacts and 5 of those decided to do the business and I started working with them. So I became brand representative quickly. I became Ruby in my 2nd month, but after I lost all my 4 executives because I didn't follow the system. I didn't know. Honestly, I was not listening to my upline, so please don't do that. As a leader, sometimes we want to do what we think is right. So I started not listening to my uplines and I lost all my forests. So don't worry if you lost some brand representatives or something at the beginning, because honestly, I didn't know what I was doing, you know.
Wow. And so there must have been times though when you asked yourself, am I still doing the right thing? You know, you had a business, a new skin business, and then those people stopped. What kept you going?
Exactly, because the thing was, I became Ruby at my 2nd month, so I received a big check, especially because I made a lot of points. So I received a big check in my 2nd month. So I say, oh, I know how to do this business. So I stopped listening to my uplines and I started doing on my way. And that's when I lost my brand representatives. So after I started thinking, this business is not for me. I should go back to do real estate. I know how to make money. And then I called my upline again. My upline was, I was in like 7 levels. But I asked him, you know, I don't think this business is for me, because at that point it was not Latinos. You need to know, when I started doing Nuskin, it was just one Latino Tinelli in Mexico. And she was not like an active Tinelli. So I was myself trying to open Latin America. So there were no stories. When I started opening, like I was in Los Angeles, but after 3 months, we started coming to Colombia, try to open this country, but it was zero business in Latin America. So it was really difficult, you know, it was no business. Think about all the things what you have in the country that you are. We didn't have a country manager, and we still don't have a country manager. we didn't have inventory. We couldn't pay with credit cards. It was horrible. So I my habla and say, I don't think this business is for me. I should go back to do real estate, because there are going to be some times that you are going to think like that. And he reminded me my why. And he said, Paty, yes, I can go back to do real estate and make money, but when I'm going to have the time to see my family in Colombia. And that is so important to know your why, the dreams of your teens. When he reminded me that, I was like, okay, what I have to do, and start again. And I start doing new brand representatives again, and I became Ruby, and I became Diamond after a year, you know. So it's normal. One of the things that you need to know is like, if you lose your executives or your brand representatives, you don't have to tell your team about that at that moment. But after, when you recuperate your team and you start growing in your title, it's important to tell sometimes those stories to people. Say, yeah, I became Ruby. I lost some executives, but now I'm a team lead and a millionaire, you know. So that's normal. It's normal, because sometimes we think those things just happen to us. We think people say no just to us. We are the only ones that lose brand representatives. We think all that stuff just happened to us. That stuff happened to all of us, So that's the story.
Wow. Okay. And so, you know, and it's so true. You know, it's success is not a straight curve. We all go through that. But so, what did you do to keep yourself out of the mindset that wanted to have you go back to go to real estate?
I had a little moment in my second month when I lost my brand representatives. Was the first time that I think that I was doing something wrong, that it was not for me. After we start coming to Colombia, I started this business like in September, and then we start coming to Colombia to open Colombia. And when I came to Colombia, I was so excited when I went to Colombia, because it was an opening country. I said, oh, this is gonna be so good. And as I told you, I start finding out all these challenges, like horrible challenges. And then that was my second time when I feel like, oh, I don't know if this business is for me or no. Alan Nagao remind me my why, and then I took that decision. That's really important. There is gonna be a point when it's like, ¿cómo se dice, amor? Como un moment. It's like a moment, no, a defining moment.
Defining moment.
Defining moment. I had my defining moment when I say, I'm gonna make this business, doesn't matter what happened, and I will never quit until I became team lead and until I made my first $1 million. So from that day, even though I had some ups and downs, I was so decided, and I just made the decision that doesn't matter what happened, I changed every difficulty to an opportunity, and I thought it was just a challenge. And I start the way that I keep my energy and my dreams alive, and my posture, and it was because every morning at night, I repeat my goals every day, 2 times per day. I will repeat my goals, I stay my goals, and I visualize my success if I was already done. So I will say that I was a team lead, that I made my $1 million, even though it was like Ruby or Emerald or Diamond. But I visualize myself as a team lead. I visualize myself traveling around the world. I visualize myself investing in real estate. I visualize myself with a huge team. I visualize myself having time with my parents. So I visualize that in meditation, and I repeat the goals every day, 2 times per day, as Napoleon Hill say in the book Think and Grow Rich. And that was my energy. That was my gasoline. Because I think as a humans, we are like a cars, and if we don't put our gasoline, that is our dreams, we don't want to wake up. Why wake up and why will do things? But if you wake up and then you say you are grateful, you pray and you say thanks because you are alive, you know, when so many things that right now are going on in the world, thanks for the house that you had, thanks for the food. You are really grateful in the morning, and then you repeat your goals. That's your gasoline. Kind of like you put the gasoline to the car, and then you are so with such a positive attitude that the day is an amazing day if you are with your positive attitude.
And Paty, was there a time in the development of your business when you suddenly realized, wow, this really was a good decision. I've made this work. I am so thankful that I chose Nu Skin. What was that moment when you thought of that?
Oh wow! First, when I started coming to Colombia every month, because I was so happy to see my family, you know. And when I was able to go back to the United States, so I had a business that allows me to be in the United States and in Colombia. But when I became Tina Lee, and I started feeling that I was changing so many lives, that my people was like changing the life too. I was not the only one. And that was like, wow, and in the right business. That was my first moment when I became Tina Lee. Like, this was worth it, you know, like it was possible. Like, because as I say, maybe you know, you had more stories there, but at that moment I was the only story in the whole Latin America. So I was like, oh my God, like I need to be an example for the rest of the people. So that was worth it for me. And of course, when I received my first million, it was not about the money. It was like the things that I was able to do that, you know, because I had many dreams. I wanted to build houses for people that live on the streets. And my dream was to take those people from the street and live little houses to there. And I made 3 houses, and I feel so happy because I thought my life started having a lot of significance. And that was like, you know, like my second defining moment. After, when I got married with Andres, he was working in NASA. And I was able to say, you know what, you don't need to continue. Like, if you want, you can continue there. But if you don't want to be an employee anymore, we can travel around the world. You can join to my business. So he joined to my business, and we start traveling to so many countries. And now, but honestly, I had to tell you that in this pandemic has been my biggest defined moment that I made the right decision. Because when the pandemic started, I was in New Zealand. I really wanted to be in New Zealand, and we had a trip to Fiji, to Australia, New Zealand, and I was there, and this thing happened, and then we had to go back immediately to Colombia because the country will be closed like by tomorrow. So we had to buy an express ticket, but we were able to go back on time. But more than that, you know, thanks to, because some people couldn't even do that because they didn't have even the economic resources to do that. But we have we had that ability to go back on time. And second, I had the ability to be with my parents in a farm, taking care of them because they are 88 and 82 years. I was able to do all the farmers products. So I was able to take care of my parents in this huge quarantine, because in Latin America it's being kind of like complicated. But more than that, when my teens started growing during pandemic, and they were so thankful because they had a business that allows them to stay in the house, and a business that grew, I had my biggest defining moment, because I feel so grateful to God and so grateful to the person that introduced me to this business, because this has been the biggest moment that I ever see in my Nu Skin career. This is incredible. Everybody's growing, like everybody's so happy, and all the businesses are closing, suffering, people, and we have the ability to help so many people that I'm so happy that even though I don't need to work right now, I'm so happy to work. Yesterday, I was at the beach. Andres was doing focus meeting on there, almost at the sea, on the water, doing meetings. I love that, you know, the ability that we have to have our office just from the phone. So I just want to tell you that if you just start this business or you've been some years in the business, this is the biggest moment through history, because Nuskin is having so many digital platforms. They are doing so much innovation. They are amazing. So what's going on right now is just incredible, because now, Jeff, I've been seeing like Tinalis in my team, Tinalis in my team, Tinalis, and this is incredible. This is incredible. So I love that.
Wow, just love your excitement, and it's true. It is such perfect timing right now, and what you just said is being able to be on the beach and still be able to do meetings and have the choice to do that. Wow, so life has really changed for you thanks to having created your success with through Nu Skin.
Yes,
Wow, Paty, what I think you did start talking to new people, but if there was something you had, what would you say? What's something you would say to somebody who's brand new in the business today? Knowing everything you've been through, what would you want to share with somebody who's brand new?
Well, then I will say to people, Nu Skin is a blessing. Nu Skin is a blessing, and you need to accept that in your life. Why? Because life is just one. And sometimes we are like just working because we need the money, But honestly, life is more than that. Life is not just about money, it's about having time. It's about an opportunity to change other lives. It's about an opportunity to feel younger, to see ourselves happy. And the good part is Nu Skin offer all that, because honestly, it's so many ways to do money, it's so many ways to make money, so many ways, but most of those business doesn't allow you to have time. So I will say to you, look, just decided to accept this blessing and say to yourself, I'm gonna make this business happen. This business, as I say to people, this business is no, of course you need to have the belief in the company, in the products, in the system, in your uplines, but only the biggest belief that you need to have is in yourself. And when you have the belief in yourself, you are going to have the biggest transformation in your life in this business, because you are going to discover things on yourself that you never see before. And this business put you in the challenge to be the best version of you. And that's the biggest part, because honestly, I studied in the best university in Colombia. I studied marketing and international business in a really good university in the United States. But honestly, they never told me how to be a leader of this world. They never told me how to be a leader of being an inspiration for other people. So if Nu Skin will never appear in my life, I will be probably still in the real estate business, but I will be able to make money myself, but not to help other people to make money. And no, I will be not able to help other people to change their lives. So as I say today, I feel so happy, grateful, I feel complete. I always pray to say thank you, because this has been the biggest opportunity in my life. My parents feel so proud of me, my brothers, my sister, my niece, and my nephews. And I just wanted to ask you, what kind of life you want to live? What kind of what kind of life you want to have? What kind of leader you want to be? What kind of example you want to be for your family? And what legacy you want to leave to the world? So this business allows us to have all that, and that's what I'm so in love with this business. And even though I don't need to work more because Nu Skin pay us so much money, I'm so happy to continue to help people, because I realize is like money. Believe me, you will make money in this business. But as my mentor told me, Paty, you are gonna first go for success, but after you will start living a life of significance. And that's so important.
Wow. Paty Acosta, you are a blessing to New Skin, and thank you so much for sharing some of your wisdom with us this morning. This morning in our time, it's wonderful to connect with you and get some of your energy. You talked about self-confidence. I can't imagine Paty never having any self-confidence. You must have been born with self-confidence, or did you have to work on that?
A lot, you know, like as I say, one of the things that most I love about Nu Skin is the person that helped me to become now and not the same person. And one of the things is so important that in the morning you dedicate 1 hour to you. You know, sometimes we forget about ourselves. We are thinking about in our fam, but we forget in ourselves. So one of the first person that you need to love is yourself. So in that way you can love others. So loving yourself, you need to prepare yourself. The most important project in your life is you. We are the most important project. So in the morning when you wake up, and if you say, I don't have time, wake up 1 hour early. There is a book called 5 a.m. Club from the author is Robin Sharma, and that author, yeah, and author said you need to dedicate 1 hour to yourself in the morning. So the first thing that you need to do, being grateful, do some exercise, because exercise is health, is for you, is your health, is yourself. And then read. It's so important to read 20 minutes minimum, because the books, especially books of personal growth, that will help you to stay positive, to discover the best part of you. So I was not the same person. At the beginning, I was afraid, and sometimes we continue to be afraid. Anytime that we are gonna do something new, we are afraid. Yeah, I'm gonna do something new right now. To be afraid is normal, but the important is to get far away from that, afraid from that fear, you know. Success is in the other side of fear. So read is really important. So try to dedicate 1 hour to yourself, 20 minutes of exercise, 20 minutes of reading, personal growth, and 20 minutes to repeat your goals, to visualize your dream board, and it's already done. I would really highly recommend you to do a dream board, to put in some place the countries that you want to visit, the vacation that you want to have, the house you want to have, the car. For me, that helps me a lot. I did my dream board 11 years ago, and after 5 years, everything was complete. It was incredible. My husband was, here is my husband, come next to me. My husband, he couldn't believe that we accomplished all our things, all. So be careful for what you ask. Be careful for what you ask. Be careful with what you think, because all these things came true. It happened.
Wow. Hi, Andres. What a blessing to have you both. What a blessing to have you both here today. Oh, thank you so much. Paty, listen, you've shared so much, and this is so many nuggets. Wow, you are a walking example of the success that Nu Skin can bring. We love being able to talk with you, and thank you so much for your time and sharing with the global team.
Thank you. For me, it's an honor.
It is for us too, and we really hope to be able to see you guys again soon here in New Zealand. I know that
Yes.
the Team Elite trip got cut short, and there will be another opportunity. I've written it down on our board that we will be able to host Team Elites on our dream board, to be able to host Team Elites from around the world as well. So it's gonna happen.
Yes, thank you, Graham, for inviting me. For me, it's an honor, and I use the favorite country of the world for my husband is New Zealand. That's why he want me to take me there, and he want to stay there for a month, because New Zealand is so beautiful. I was there just 3 days, and I already fell in love. And I hope when I go to New Zealand that you told me, Paty, I was on that phone call, and now I'm a Teen Elite, now I'm a Blue Diamond. I wanted to hear those stories that you say, I decided to go to the top, I decided that I will change any difficulty into an opportunity. I decided to be a leader, and here I am completing my your dream. So I hope that I will visualize that, Grant.
Okay, there's the challenge, everybody. You've got it from the woman herself, Paty Acosta. Thanks so much for your time again from Miami, Florida. And we'll catch up with you again very, very soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Graham.
Thank you, Graham. Have a great day, guys.